So we've got a Contura 310G stove here, slightly wider than your normal 5 kilowatt stove. This is up to 7 kilowatts. So something that's a little bit different with this, rather than doing the top-down lighting method with one fire or one stack of kindling, we'll have two, just because you got the extra wide firebox. One of the issues we often see with this stove is that people try to light it with a small fire in the center. It doesn't get hot for ages. The stove produces more smoke than it should, and it's harder to get it going. So what we generally recommend is two small logs in the bottom, a kindling stack here, and a couple of natural wood wool fire lighters, which will light from the top down. This will light the waxlings, fire lighters burn really clean, then the kindling catches, produces a nice gradual heat, heats the chimney up, and by the time the logs on the bottom catch, the stove is nice and warm, you get very little smoke back, and the stove gets up to temperature quickly. So I've got my gas man gadget here from O'Grill, which we're going to give a go. Oh, look at that. Close the door, so we'll just leave the door on the latch open so it lets a bit of extra air in, and we'll put the air control to 3, and that's it. We'll come back to that in a couple of minutes and we'll have a look and see how it's going. So it's not quite 10 minutes, the fire has been lit. We've got a decent steady fire across the width of the firebox. So just get your fire glove on and then grab a couple of logs, pop one in at the side, pop it in there, close your door completely this time, and then you can go back to adjusting your fire as normal with your air control. So we'll still leave it most of the way open for another few minutes, just to let the fire establish, let those two logs catch. Then once it's going, you can close the air down to somewhere between 1 and 2 on the settings on the front of the stove.